Welcome back to the channel. You guys, it's a rainy Tuesday afternoon here, and I am running on about 2 hours of sleep and way too much iced coffee. But the drama in Genoa City is absolutely out of control right now, and I just had to sit down and get all these thoughts out before my deadline. So grab a snack, settle in, and let's talk about the absolute chaos unfolding on our screens, because my brain is literally spinning from everything that just happened. So let's just get right into the biggest question of the week, the thing everyone on social media is talking about nonstop. Is Matt Clark actually telling the truth about his amnesia? I know. I was the first one on here screaming that he was faking it. A few episodes ago, I was so sure he was just playing everyone. I thought it was just another classic soap opera manipulation tactic from a guy who has done nothing but lie. But now I'm actually starting to second guess myself. The flashbacks he's having. The sudden flashes of memory that seem to genuinely terrify him. He looks so confused, and the Newmans absolutely refuse to believe him. They don't want to buy it for a single second. Because if they believe he has amnesia, if they believe his brain is actually broken, they have to see him as a human being. They have to see him as a victim, and they just want to destroy him. But guys, what if he's telling the truth? What if the monster is really gone? And then you look at Sienna Bacall. I really didn't know what to make of Sienna at first. I thought she was just this crazy, fanatical follower who was obsessed with a bad guy. But you look at her now, and she understands this current version of Matt deeper than anybody else on the canvas. You can see it in her eyes. She looks at him and she fully believes that he is genuine. She knows him as Mitch Bacall. She married Mitch Bacall. To her, the monster Matt Clark doesn't exist right now, only Mitch does. And honestly, it's kind of heartbreaking when you really think about it. She is so fiercely loyal to this version of him. And it makes you wonder, who is the real man in there? Is it Matt or is it Mitch? The fans on social media are completely torn on this. Half of them think it's a long con, and the other half are starting to feel bad for the guy. I change my mind about him every 5 seconds, and it is exhausting. But then we have to talk about Sharon Newman. Poor, sweet Sharon. She knows Matt as the guy who dated her, manipulated her, and ultimately became the coward who brutally attacked her. She is stuck. She is completely trapped in that dark period of her life. And who can blame her? Who actually believes she should just get over it? She is naturally reacting to all his recent attacks on her loved ones. She remembers the attempted murders. She remembers the absolute terror in that abandoned garage he used for his illegal operations. Do you guys remember that? The lighting, the fear, the way she had to fight for her life. She is living in a constant state of PTSD. Every time she looks at him, she doesn't see an amnesiac named Mitch. She sees the monster who tried to end her life. It's so heavy. It's just so heavy to watch her carry that trauma while everyone else debates his memory. But here is where things get really, really weird. Phyllis Summers. Phyllis is actually defending the villain. She believes him. Why? Because Phyllis sees her own reflection in Matt. Let's be real, Phyllis knows what it's like to be the town pariah. She knows what it's like to do terrible things, to make massive mistakes, and then beg everyone for a second chance. She sees herself in his struggle, and that is exactly what is drawing her to him. And maybe he is drawn to her too. It is such a twisted, toxic dynamic. I kind of hate it, but I also can't look away. It's like a car crash. Just imagine them as a couple. Seriously, take a second and imagine it. It would be the most unusual, fascinating pairing on the show in years. Think about the family dynamics. Imagine Daniel Romolodi's reaction. Daniel has been running around for weeks trying to play peacemaker between Phyllis and Christine, trying to keep everyone from killing each other in court. And then his mom brings home Matt Clark. Poor Daniel, his head would literally explode. And Danny Romolodi. Danny would probably just pass out from the shock of it all. And Summer Newman. Summer's company is already hitting a dangerous turning point. She is stressed to the max about her business, and now she'd have to deal with her mom dating a guy like Matt. It would be pure chaos. Phyllis was not being totally honest when she said she wasn't attracted to him. She totally is, and he finds her incredibly appealing. It's a disaster waiting to happen, but I'm here for it. I really am. Meanwhile, Victor Newman is doing what Victor does best. He is standing firm. He is insisting that his family will be protected at all costs. Victor is dead serious. He always is, but this time it feels so much heavier. And Nick knows exactly how serious his father is, especially after Victor confronted him about lying to Phyllis. The pressure on Nick has been immense. The weight of the Newman legacy, the fear of Matt, the addiction. It has completely broken him. Nick's plan. Oh my gosh, Nick's plan was insane. He literally wanted Detective James Burrow to witness him killing Matt, so the whole thing would be ruled as self-defense. What were they thinking with this storyline? It is so incredibly reckless. Who actually believes a cop is just going to sign off on a cold-blooded execution? It was a totally drug-induced, reckless idea. Nick is so deep into his addiction right now. The fentanyl, the cocaine he got from Sienna. It's destroying his mind. He is not thinking straight at all. He wanted to execute Matt in cold blood and use a cop as his alibi witness. But his body just couldn't take it. Nick collapsed. He completely crumbled before he could take the law into his own hands. And honestly, it's a blessing in disguise. Because if he had pulled the trigger, there would be no coming back from that. Will he try again when he recovers? Maybe. That is definitely a storyline the writers could explore down the road on daytime TV. But for now, he is just a broken man on the floor. Let's talk about the Sienna and Nick dynamic for a second, because it is blowing my mind. Sienna is the one supplying Nick with the drugs. She is actively destroying the Newman golden boy from the inside out, while simultaneously looking at Matt with these pure, loving eyes, believing he is Mitch. It is such a wild contrast. She is a literal angel of mercy to Matt and a demon to Nick, and Nick is just eating it up because he is so desperate to numb his pain. The fact that the cocaine and fentanyl came from her. It just adds this whole other layer of sickness to the storyline. And Victor has to be losing his mind behind closed doors. We see him standing firm, but you just know he is terrified for his son. Victor has spent his entire life building this protective fortress around his family, and now he is watching Nick crumble from the inside out. He thought Matt was the only threat, but the real threat is Nick's own mind and his addiction. Victor confronting Nick about lying to Phyllis was just the tip of the iceberg. You can tell Victor is calculating his next move. If Matt walks free, what is Victor going to do? Is he going to take matters into his own hands? Because we all know Victor Newman does not let things go, ever. And this brings me to the absolute craziest scene of the week. The rescue. I was literally yelling at my TV. You guys. Nick goes down from an overdose. He is dying right there on the floor. And who steps in to save his life? Matt Clark. Matt freaking Clark. It was stunning to watch. Matt realizes his old enemy is overdosing, and he doesn't even hesitate. He drops to his knees and starts doing chest compressions. He goes right into lifesaver mode. It's wild. The guy Nick wanted to murder is the one trying to keep his heart beating. Matt is pushing down on his chest, sweating, looking panicked. It was such a surreal moment. And then Phyllis jumps in. Phyllis is right there doing mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Because, as the show so subtly reminded us, Nick's ex-wife is very familiar with that area of his face. Okay, that sounded a little weird and maybe too dramatic, but you get what I mean. It was such a bizarre, poetic moment. Two of the biggest villains in Genoa City, two people who have caused so much pain and chaos, are desperately working together to save the Newman Golden Boy. It was just brilliant television. I have to give the writers credit for that scene. It was intense, it was messy, it was perfect. So now we have to wonder about the legal fallout from all of this. Will Detective Borough and District Attorney Christine Romalotti be able to gather enough evidence to actually prosecute Matt? Christine is already dealing with so much drama of her own, but she is a bulldog when she wants to be. But Borough just recently let Matt go because they didn't have enough evidence. If they can't make the charges stick, if what happens in Vegas just stays in Vegas, Matt might actually avoid prison time. And if Matt avoids prison, that means Howarth stays on the canvas. And honestly, I really want that. Howarth is playing this role so perfectly. He brings so much depth to a character that could have just been a one-note villain. If the Vegas staff just stays in Vegas, the Newmans and Sienna might actually get what they want in their own weird ways. But if Howarth stays on the cast indefinitely, it is going to be fantastic for the fans. We need a complex villain like this. We need the drama. I just hope the writers don't mess this up, because they have gold on their hands right now. Anyway, my brain is fried from thinking about all this. The amnesia, the CPR, the twisted romance. It's a lot, but that's why we watch, right? We love the mess. We love the chaos. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is Matt faking it? Should Phyllis date him? I need to know your thoughts before I pass out from exhaustion.